All right, shalom, shalom. First and foremost, say Kahla Imla Yahweh, Bahashem, Howard Shai Bahashem, Kakadash, the one star apostle of this great millstone. Learn this truth that and peace and manifestations to the Lord's elect, house of David. All right, and I just reminiscing, on something that uh, Gabar Rakah, formerly the formerly of the Men of Valor, told me one day when we was on the phone one day. I'm just reminiscing on this statement, and years later, which he's not around no more. He's not teaching no more. I don't know what happened to him, but he made a profound. I mean, he made a statement. All right, um, at the time, I didn't quite understand. So I guess it's a whole situation. I ain't gonna go through the back story of it. But basically, we had gotten on the phone. I had saw that he made a post about me a long time ago. I remember that he had a lesson plan that he was gonna. He had put my name in it and put my face in it, and the title of it said like dishonorable discharge or something like that. You know, I guess we weren't sending money back then. I guess or something like that. I forget what had happened, right? And I guess he was trying to get me to play along. So I ended up calling him, you know, on the phone to see what was up. Like, oh, well, what happened, this and that. But this was around the same time that he ended up wearing the bulletproof vest and doing all this stuff, right? Because this guy, he was or this brother, I should say, which he's not around no more. But out of respect, I'll call him a brother. Um, while he was around, he was a well-known man with 10,000 plus subscribers and this and that, right? So he had a following. Those brothers are still out there pushing. Um, that he was with for a time. But see the fact of the matter is that when that situation happened, he got on the phone and he called me a piece of shit. I was taken back. I was like, what the why is this man acting like this? Isn't he supposed to be an elder or something like that? Isn't he supposed to be a spiritual man? Why is he treating me like this? Because when you think about an elder, right, you think about a fatherly type figure, that's gonna caress you and love you and stuff like that. But a lot of the times, see, the Lord sets up men, that give you what you need, not necessarily what you want. And the thing is, you know, he was giving me an earful, you know. So after that, we it ended up being that we split ways or whatever. Well, that's back then when I was still teaching on Bayat, which both of these men in question are not around the truth no more. But the spirit of the whole thing, spirit of why I'm doing this lesson is because look, when he told me that I was a piece of shit, I took it as though he was trying to come at me, which he could have been or he couldn't have been. But looking on years later at the situation, you know, now I see it. Now I see it differently. Now I see it differently because yeah, the Lord did take the spirit from the man. He's not teaching no more and things of that nature. But um, the scriptures say what we're all our righteousness as filthy rags. You know what I mean? So in a matter of speaking, he was right. And when I look at it, through the spirit, because at the time maybe you don't want to see it, or whatever. You may be blinded to it or whatever. But yeah, we're all pieces of shit in a matter of speaking. When you look at it, now I have done videos in the past, telling brothers, not to speak about yourself like that, but you shouldn't, But there's also balance to this thing, and it keeps you humble, knowing that you're a wretch. It says in Ephesians, the third chapter, it says in Ephesians, the third chapter, the Apostle Paul, being as great as he was, he called himself the least of all the saints. You know, he said he was the least of all the saints. Right, Ephesians 3 and verse 6. Because at the end of the day, we're just worms. Even as great as you may be in the ministry and the scriptures and this and that. We're low. All right, we're lowly. If we drop dead, anybody give a damn about you. All right, so you know, all these years I took it as the man was calling me a piece of shit, which we don't know his intentions or whatever the case may be, but it's how you take things. Now looking back at it, hey, man, yeah, man was right, we're all pieces of shit. The man was right, even though he's not around no more and he's not teaching. But hey, certain things that the Lord will put the spirit on a man to say certain things, just to and it may stick with you, it may stick with you, even if they may not end up being members of the elect or whatever. I'm not saying that that he was or he wasn't, because but the proof is in the pudding. I don't know what he didn't continue in the truth, but the fact of the matter is that what he said to me that day stuck with me till this day. You know, okay. So anyways, it says Ephesians 6, 3 and verse 6 says that the Gentiles should be fellow heirs of the same body and partakers of his promise by the gospel, whereof I am made a minister according to the gift of the grace of the Most High given unto me by the effectual working of his power, unto me who am least of all saints. All right, this is the Apostle Paul. He said he was least of all the saints, man. When the Apostle Paul was a top man of the Lord, a top man of the Heavenly Father. But he said he was least of all the saints. So he called himself basically a piece of shit. I'm the least of all my people. Because why did he say that? Because he knew he was wicked, man. We're all fucking wicked, bro. None of us is righteous, all right. And you gotta get broken down. You know what I'm saying? Spirit has to like work with you, man. And to make you understand certain things. Sometimes brothers, need to see these type of things, in order to comprehend the full breadth of what the Lord is doing, in us, and why he put us in this condition, and why he, you know, why he made us so low and shit like this. Okay, so, like I said, man, uh, bro, he said them things to me a long time ago, but he also said, he also had told me at the very same, like months after that, I had ended up hitting him up, and he was like, brother, you got the spirit of King David, man, because I try to apologize to the brother. I don't know, because of however the situation went down. Even though he did call me a piece of shit, but hey, I just try to make the peace with him. And I ended up sending him a couple bucks here and there, whatever. But it wasn't much. But yeah, man, because the whole situation transpired, however it did, and that was prior to him, wearing the vest and all that, doing all the other shit, talking to the CIA and shit. The man, lost his way. But the fact of the matter is that, your people, man, dealing with your people is very, very, very difficult, babe. But even though at the time I was offended, the man called me a piece of shit. But then years later, that simmers, and it resonates with you, and you're like, okay, wow, this makes sense now. Makes sense, right? Now I see what you meant by this. Now I see what you were trying to say, or how I perceived it. At the time, maybe it wasn't the right way, you know, or whatever the case may be. Because see, we're all getting built up and being rulers, and how to deal with each other. And sometimes you got to use better tactics, or whatever the case may be. But that just goes to show you that none of us is perfect. You know what I mean? None of us is perfect, as it were. How to use tact, how to use discretion, how to use sometimes different tools for different men, you know, how to get to them, how to make them understand certain things. Everything's not always, you got to, yell at them or whatever, or call them a piece of shit or whatever. And the Lord might have put me through that just so I could understand it, in a better aspect, in a better way. You know what I mean? But anyways, Ephesians 3:8, it says, "Unto me, who am least of all the saints, is the grace given, that I should preach amongst the Gentiles the unsearchable riches of Yahweh." Now, what I want to get from this verse is the very beginning. Unto me, who am least of all the saints. That's the key right there, right? The Apostle Paul said he was least of all the saints. Romans the 7th chapter, right? Romans the 7th chapter. Okay, because see, this is the thing, man. You go through things with brothers, things happen, controversial things happen. A brother may say something to you and shit like that. You might get offended, and he might be in the wrong. He might be in the wrong, and he could be an elder or anything like, because he was an elder. The man was an elder, man. Gabar was an elder, a top man with a lot of subscribers and this and that. And, he got mad at me because this and that, and so he slipped up the tongue and called me a piece of shit, which he shouldn't have did that. But I'm actually thankful that he did that, because it showed me many things, man. At the time I was like, what the fuck, and then he was saying a bunch of other stuff, which, like I said, he's not around no more. But the spirit of what he did that day, it still sticks with me to this day, man. It still sticks with me to this day. Like you know what I'm saying. Now I'm looking now growing and being older and shit like that. I see things differently, man. You know what I mean? So for a long time I was mad at it, bro. And I'm like, why you did that, man? Why you had to be like that? But at the end of the day, man, it's like it's all the Lord's mercy, man. You know, at the end of the day, we're all fucked up, man. The elders, the apostles, all of us, man, we're all fucked up, bro. And then ain't none of us righteous, and that's the point of me doing this lesson, man. You know what I'm saying? We fuck up every day, man. We offend each other all the time, bro. You know what I mean? Like, we can't hold grudges against each other and shit like that, man. All right, the white man's the enemy. All right, at the end of the day, man. That's why, after that situation happened with me and him, I ended up texting him and being like, "Yo, bro, slacking, whatever." Da da da. Even though he should have apologized to me, because he's the one calling me a piece of shit. I'm just a young brother coming into the truth. I'm just a young brother. I fucked up. I made a mistake. This and that. Okay, I didn't send you tithes or whatever. I mean, what you want me to do, brother? We're coming in from the world, Oh, you know what I'm saying? You see us teaching the word with the vehemency of the spirit. You know what I mean? But you didn't really call us. You didn't really check. You know what I'm saying, bro? It's like now all of a sudden, I'm supposed to just send you a bunch of money. That was the whole thing. I don't know what it was, but that was an aspect of it, whatever. But the point is that me wanting to depart or whatever. You a piece of shit, man. You a piece of shit. Whatever. You know what I'm saying? We were just doing our thing, teaching the word, man. You know what I mean? But see, he should have took a responsibility as an elder, man, to call you, reach out, this and that. You know what I mean? Like, everything is not on you, But at the end of the day, this is not a blame game. I'm just saying, I'm just using this whole situation as an example to show you, ain't none of us right. Ain't none of us, we make mistakes. We fuck up, bro. And you got to come to each other as men, man. And deal with each other across the table. If not, you'll fall out the truth, man. Like the brother fell out the truth. You know what I'm saying? And he was on fire for a long time, and a lot of people looked up to him and this and that, you know what I'm saying? And he had a channel called Defend and Watch the Sheep, Cares for the Flock. But see, the thing is, you got to live up to those names. You got to finish the fight. You can't just depart from the flock and leave them, You can't just leave them up and hang them up and dry, So if we want the mercy of the Lord that we're all looking for, we got to finish the fight. We got to do the work the right way. You know what I'm saying? We can't be lukewarm. We got to forgive each other. We got to watch how we talk to each other too. You see what I'm saying? Like, we got to watch how we deal and see. I'm not saying that situation was the reason the man fell out, but like after that happened, like there was a whole bunch of stuff, you know what I'm saying, that transpired with the man. You know what I'm saying? And to the point where he had the CIA at his crib, man. You know what I mean? The cops were knocking at his door and all this other shit. He was on the phone with this one and that one. See, this is what happens, bro. Like this truth is a very, very, very a very, very heavy thing, man. We've been given gifts that's not of this earth, bro. We're dealing with the Lord's word. You know what I mean? And how we deal with each other, the Lord is watching this, man. You know what I'm saying? So at the end of the day, it's all about the Lord's mercy. Okay, Romans the 7th chapter, right? Romans the 7th chapter. And the 17th verse. Now then, it is no more I that do it. Now it is I. It is now. Now it is not even. Now then, it is not. It is no more I that do it, but sin that dwelleth in me. For I know that in me, that is in my flesh, dwell no good thing. For to will is present with me, but how to perform it, that which is good, I find not. All right. For the good that I would, I do not, but the evil which I would not, that I do. Now, if I do that what I would not, it is no more I that do it, but sin that dwelleth in me. And if I find in a law that when I would do good, evil is present with me. For I delight in the law after the inward man, but I see another law in my members, warring against the law of my mind, and bringing me into captivity to the law of sin, which is in my members. O wretched man that I am, who shall deliver me from the body of this death? So you got to come to grips with the fact that you wretched, man. You got to come to grips with the fact that, hey, man, you know, you ain't fucking right, bro. You got wicked thoughts. You in a body that's subject to sin. You know what I'm saying? You got to come to the grips with these things, man. You know, you gotta be honest with yourself, you know, and honest with the Most High. That's why the scriptures say, "Rent your heart and not your garments." That's why the scriptures speak about being of a contrite, broken spirit, man. You know, because you got to be real with the Lord, man. You gotta pray to Him. You know what I'm saying? You gotta confess your faults. Scripture say, confess your faults one to another, man. You know, the effectual fervent prayer of a righteous man availeth much. You know, and James 5:16. You know, so you got to really be in this word. You got to live it. You know, because if not, you will go back to the world. You will become a castaway. You will lose. All right. If you're not real every day in this thing, if you're not examining yourself every day, if you're not on fire for this thing every day, man, if you're not truly making full proof of your ministry, man, you will stay that piece of shit that you are as a human being, as a man. Okay. All right. Not in the sense that you ain't worth nothing, but in the sense that you're wretched, man. You know, your spirit is willing, but your flesh is weak, you know? So those words that he said to me, those many moons ago, you know, they were spiritual words, man. You know, even though they was fucked up at the time or whatever. I'm just a kid and shit, whatever. Just young. I'm just like, what the fuck? You know, here it is, you know, it's person you supposed to be looking up to, you know, this is how they dealing with you, you know? And then you know, it was just the way he said it. It was just the way he, you know, came at it and whatever. I remember this shit till it was yesterday, man, you know? But you know, whatever. You know, it is somebody gonna say somebody got, you know, I got slapped or I got this or I got that, which I've been in there too. You know, I've been in there too. But you know, somebody will say they had it worse or whatever. I'm just speaking on that experience that I had, man. All right. I'm just saying, bro. Okay. Hey, look, it's all about the Lord's mercy. All right. Hey, the Lord may the Lord have mercy on that brother, you know, wherever he's at. You know what I mean? Sometimes you go through shit with brothers, you know what I'm saying, with your own flesh and blood, with your own fellow believers, hey, to show you something, bro. You know what I mean? To level you up, man, to humble you or to, you know, and we can't be proud. None of us can be proud and say, oh, I can't learn nothing from this guy because he, you know, he's underneath me or whatever, you know. You can't be proud like that, man. You know, you got a lot of proud dudes, man. You know, they can't take nothing, no advice or nothing, or they can't learn nothing from a younger brother or from an older brother. Look, man, we're all here as servants. All right, we're all serving the Lord, man. You know, and we're all supposed to be as the little one. You know, all right. And when you get too proud for your own britches, when you get too high-minded for your own self, that's when you fuck up, man. And that's when you lose. That's when, see, the Lord said, be as a little child, man. You know, in malice be little children, understanding be men, man. You know, why did he say that, bro? Because we're all supposed to come back to the Lord as newborn babes, man, as desiring the sincere milk, you know.
We're supposed to come back to the Lord, in a contrite spirit, seeking mercy like a child, would seek from his father, or his mother. They have this youthful spirit. They got this little, kid voice, and they don't know no better. They're just, they're just coming into the world, but then they get corrupted by the society. They get older, they start looking at shit, they start getting wicked thoughts and shit. The flesh gets all. But see, the Lord is having mercy on us, as we ought to have it on each other, But Sirach 28 and the first verse. Oh, matter of fact, let me finish the rest of this. Romans 7 and 24. It says, "Oh, wretched man that I am, who shall deliver me from the body of this death? I thank the Most High through Mashiach Yahushua our Lord. So then, with the mind, I myself serve the law of the Most High, but with the flesh, the law of sin." Yeah, so I'm not really doing this video to get at bro, or, say this or that. But I'm just saying, bro, that whole situation that had transpired, and him saying those words to me that day, resonate with me to this day. I was thinking about it earlier. I'm like, that's a spirit, man. Hey, bro was right. Bro was right at the end of the day. Even though he was wrong in the way he came at it, but the essence of what he said is right. Hey, we're all pieces of shit. We're all low. Okay, but we're not supposed to have that mentality of like, I ain't worth nothing. Okay, because it's balanced with this humility. Scripture say the zeal of that house have eaten me up, because knowledge puffeth up. You could become too high-minded, where you saying that you're fucking the comforter and shit, where you're going, but you also can't have that mentality of like, I'm worthless and the Lord can't have mercy on me. You understand that the Lord saved the sick, man, the wicked. He said he came for the ones that need a physician, them that are whole needeth not a physician, but them that are sick, so the Lord said he came to call the sinners to repentance, not them that are whole, not them that are righteous, according to the law, or not them that are, mighty in this world. All right, they're righteous in their own eyes and shit, because these people are righteous in their own eyes, man. See, the Lord is the one that decides whether we're righteous or not. A man can say, yeah, you righteous, I'm righteous and this and that, but who decides that, man? A man may say, hey, his brother's righteous, his brother's right, his brother's good. But who decides that, man? The Most High decides this. The Most High is the ultimate judge. To him, he decides. He said, all souls belong to me. Ezekiel 18 and 4. That's why he said, I will have mercy on who I have mercy, and I have compassion on who I have compassion, man. That's why you have the story of the prodigal son. Eventually the Lord will have mercy on his prodigal sons, those that return and that seek his face 10 times more and beg for his mercy, because at the end of the day, it's all about the Lord's mercy, man. It's all about the Lord's mercy. So you go through experiences with brothers, shit may happen, you may cuss each other out or whatever the case may be, but the scriptures speak about the ministry of reconciliation, man. But see, the thing is that if you don't endure in this thing, then like your works will be null and void. Like I said about the brother, he didn't continue. I don't know where bro's at. He was on fire for a time, and shit happens. But hey, we hope the Lord have mercy on brothers. But the thing is that the scriptures, you can't play with them. See, what happens is that now you're in the hands of the Lord. Because you could be doing all this work and then fall. You take your hand off the plow, and then what happens? The Lord said you become a castaway. Now, like I said, it's all of the Lord's mercy, who he have compassion upon. But it is what it is. All right. Sirach 28 and the first verse says, he that revenges shall find vengeance from the Lord, and he will surely keep his sins in remembrance. Forgive thy neighbor the hurt that he have done unto thee, and so shall thy sins be forgiven when I praise. Like I said, hey, bro, call me a piece of shit, at the time. Hey, but you got to forgive him, A brother might, offend you or say this or say that, hey, but you got to take it into context. Hey, like, what is the Lord trying to show me, man? What is the Lord trying to tell me, man? Maybe the Lord's using his brother to show me something, man. And sometimes, you may not see it at the time. It might take months. It might take years, It might take weeks. It might take days. It might take hours. for you to understand what's really being told to you. But as long as you take it in stride and you use it to further yourself in the truth and continue in the gospel, and then you good. If you let whatever situation happen between you or a brother or whatever the case may be derail you, then hey, that's when you destroyed. That's when the spiritual demon Satan sift your ass out of this thing. But see, the Lord's mercy keep you in the truth. The faith, faith, judgment, and mercy, that's the weightier matters of the law. It keep you grounded and rooted in this thing. So like when shit like this happens, your faith gets shaken up or whatever may happen, you can still continue. You can still maintain your integrity, your faith in the Lord. The scripture speak about being offended at Yahushua. See, Yahushua comes at many forms, man. And we can't be, super offended at it, because at the end of the day, it's all for our betterment. You know what I mean? It's all for our it's all to refine us. He said we were sold to the nations, not for our destruction, but because you provoked him that made you to wrath, So it may look like he hates us, It may look like the Lord despises you and that he don't care for you, and he cast you aside, call you a wretch and all this shit. But hey, look, sometimes it's just tough love, Sometimes it's just, sometimes that's the Lord's tender mercy to whoop your ass, to save you from a greater threat, to save you from yourself. All right. So like I said, man, hey, bro was right. Hey, you a piece of shit, guy. Now that don't mean you're gonna call somebody a piece of shit. You know what I'm saying? Because that's not spiritual and that's really not righteous. It's not really something you should make a habit of. But hey, in the back of your mind, hey, you understand. Hey, you understand that. Hey, you fucked up. It's not something that you're gonna tell somebody and be like, yo, bro, you a demon. But hey, we're all off. In our own way. If you look long enough at a brother, you're gonna find some type of fault with him. You see, you're gonna find some type of fault with your woman. You've been with your woman for long enough. You're gonna start looking at her like, what the, this or that. That's why you got to look at the good things in a brother, or your good things in your woman, and the good things in your father and your mother. You can't look at the bad. There's more good than there is bad. If it wasn't the case, then the Lord wouldn't have mercy on us. He wouldn't have sent his son down here, man. That's right, bro. Yeah, that's right. We're all flawed men, in our own ways. You may do shit that a brother may not like, the way you talk or whatever, or the way you, whatever the case may be. But that's why the scripture speak about long suffering, man. All right. Okay, even 2/3, yeah, they're gonna die and the Lord's gonna destroy them and this and that. But hey, the Lord have mercy on us. Lord willing, we're not of that ilk, Lord willing, we continue, We don't know. You got me, and sometimes you get a little overzealous, talk about the 2/3 too much, but you gotta remember that none of our tickets are assured yet. Yeah, in spirit it may be, but not until it happens. You can't, until you get beamed up and saved up out of here, you can't really say, oh well, I'm good. You're not good yet. You haven't finished. You're not out the woods yet. Okay, so Sirach 28 and verse 2: forgive thy neighbor the hurt they have done unto thee, so shall thy sins also be forgiven when I praise. One man bear hatred against another, doth he seek pardon from the Lord? He showed no mercy to a man which is like himself. And what doth he ask forgiveness for his own sins for? If he that is but flesh nourisheth hatred, who will he entreat for pardon of his sins? Remember that thy end and let enmity cease. Remember corruption and death abide in the commandments. And remember the commandments, and bear no malice to thy neighbor. Remember the covenant of the highest and weak ignorance. Yeah, so I think when he called me a piece of shit, I don't think he meant it as like, malice, whatever. But you see, the thing is that see, you got to be careful who you're talking to too. See, you don't know who you're dealing with, because you could see in his head, he might have been talking to a young brother. He may have said it, out of a good heart. But see, the thing is, like, you got to be careful, man. You got to be careful. This is what happens with the Lord's mercy, man. The Lord, he may use you for whatever purpose he needs you. That's why it's terrifying, man. You know, because here it is. Like I said, I was a nobody, bro, back then. I was like, nobody know me. Nobody knew who the hell I was back then. But this man was a top man, bro. That people like, you go live, 100 people be on there, you know, it'll go, you know, a bunch of men up under him, you know, and all this stuff. So maybe at the time he got a little proud and he thought he could speak to me in any type of way he wanted to, you know, or maybe he just meant it, you know, maybe he just needed to get off that old man. But see, the thing is that, brother, you know, even though we want mercy for the brothers, you know, like himself and other brothers and stuff like that, but see, it's the Lord that's working, you see, because years later he's not in the truth no more. And you see, this is the thing, you see what I'm saying? Like, I understand why he said them things, and I see it, you know, I see why. I'm not mad at it no more as I was back then. Like, anybody would be mad getting called a piece of shit, a piece of garbage. You understand? You know, anybody would, you know, nobody's gonna feel like, oh yeah, well, that's a great thing, you know, somebody's telling me, you know. But at the end of the day, man, you know, it helped me at the end of the day. But see, you gotta be careful, man, because even though he may have had the good intentions or whatever, I don't know what intentions he had, but you see, he's not around no more. See, that's the scary part. That's what I want to tell you. That's what I want to get in your head, man. That, hey, we're under the Lord's mercy, man. You know what I mean? And you gotta be careful how you treat brothers and how you talk to them, and how you say certain things. Your intentions may be one thing, you know, but then boom, you may end up offending one of the little ones, and the Lord might take the spirit from you. The Lord might bug you out. You see what I'm saying? All right. So you know, we gotta be wary of these things, you know, and how we treat each other, and how we say things, and how we deal. Because ultimately, the Lord is giving us the he's setting us up to govern each other, man. To govern, you know, how we amongst ourselves, amongst the earth, how we, you know, and when we're in our kingdom, we're not gonna be sitting there calling each other pieces of shit and stuff like that. But that's because we're in this society, you know. But the Lord lets us go through these, you know, adverse situations with each other, you know. The Lord will let your mama disrespect you, your girl disrespect you. He will let the white man disrespect you. He will let brothers talk to you. He might let you get in a fight with a brother to show you everything is a learning experience. That's what I'm telling you. Everything is a learning experience. And I learned a lot from my interaction with the man Gabar. I can't even say chief no more because he's not in the truth no more, you know? That's what I'm saying. You see, it's a very slippery slope dealing with this word. And we all have to be very careful how we deal and how we show each other mercy, and how we speak, and how we forgive. Because you got men out there that don't forgive, that don't, you know what I'm saying? So it's a lot of, this is a lesson that you got lessons within lessons, right? Like the apostle be saying, well, hey, well, there's many nuances, like a onion, and layers to this lesson here, man, which I could I could make like 2-3 parts out of this one, you know what I'm saying? But I really want to speak from the heart, you know what I mean? From the spirit, you know. I didn't have really anything really planned for this one, you know what I'm saying? I'm just going with the spirit, you know what I mean? Um, they counted all joy. Yep. They talk crazy. Yeah. Well, that's a spirit, you see. But hey, man, you know, like I said, you know, I don't have any hard feelings towards the brother or whatever. You know what I mean? But it's just the fact that, you know, see, you gotta be very careful, man. You know, you gotta be very careful, because you may look down on the brother or whatever the case may be, because he's not, you know, a high-ranking member, or he's not, you know, some type of famous guy, or, you know what I mean? You have to be very careful how you speak to brothers and what you do, you know? Okay, because you may have good intentions, or you may think you're right, or whatever the case may be. You know what I mean? But at the end of the day, you know, like, you know, like, you know, we be rebuking people and stuff like that. You know, you know, the spirit had the brothers, you know, tell me to tone it down a bit, or whatever the case may be, right? But even in that, you know, I learned a lot. You know, when the elder Mike did his video, the elder Mike Allah that did his video and said, "Hey, we're the root of spirit," this and that, right? I learned a lot at the time. I you know, you may have not seen it the way they saw it, or whatever the case may be. You know what I'm saying? But but you grow. and you understand all these different things, man. This truth is all about growth, man. This truth is all about growth, man. You know what I mean? This truth is all about growth. We're all growing. We're all becoming the man that the Lord needs us to be. You know what I'm saying? So that comes with situations with your brothers. That comes with, you know, getting kicked out of a camp. You get kicked out of a camp, that's not the end. That could, like my brother, right? The brother I teach with, you know, that wasn't the end for him. You know, that wasn't the end for him. You know, but the Lord works in mysterious ways, bro. You understand what I'm saying? You may have been a former member of a camp or a former member of this camp or that camp, and the Lord may remove you. The Lord may, you know, cause you to go to jail. And then, you know, whatever may happen to you, man. You know, you may, any type of thing can happen to you in this truth. This is why it's always the best bet is to always put the fear of the Lord first, and then, you know, work off of that, man. That's why Scripture say the wisdom, the fear of the Lord is the beginning of the wisdom, right? In Sirach, the first chapter, you know, well, I think it's Wisdom of Solomon, the first chapter, one of those. But the beginning of the fear of the Lord is that's the wisdom. That's the beginning of the wisdom, you know, because the Lord is in control of all things. We have to understand this, and that's who we're working for. So we're at His mercy, you know what I mean? And each one of us is a vessel, a worker, you know, a servant, a fellow servant. The Scriptures say a man's not crowned unless he strives lawfully. You know what I mean? So so yeah, that's right. The Lord deals with the meek in heart, you know. So that's the thing, man. You know. So if you ever see this video, Gabar or any of you brothers that, you know, if you see this video, I hope you don't take it as like, hey, well, it's brother. No, I'm just saying. All right, I'm just speaking from my experience. You know what I'm saying, and what I went through, and whatever the case may be. You know, and giving you my 2 cents. You know, and Lord willing, you get at something out of it. You know what I mean? Because we've all been through situations where it's like, you know, well, why is this brother acting like this? You know. But hey, that's why the Scriptures speak about long suffering. That's why the Scriptures speak about mercy. That's why the Scriptures speak about compassion. You know, that's why the Scriptures speak about love, man. All right, and hey, the Lord's love comes in different ways, man. All right, Psalms 136:1. Give thanks unto Yahweh, why Yahweh Shai, for He is good and His mercy endures forever. All right, that's why He said, "In your patience possess your souls, man." And your patience possess your souls, because this is a long exercise in patience, being in His truth, man. You know, being in His truth and finding out about the knowledge, wisdom of the Lord, all the wickedness we done did. You know what I'm saying? All the times we fail. You know, and then seeing how good the Lord is to us, man. You know, this is a learning experience for us, man, as a nation, as a people. You know, so this is a long exercise in long suffering. You know, this is one big old exercise in long suffering. All right, one big old exercise in long suffering, man. You know, and you got to be long suffering with your brother. You know, so it says Genesis the 32nd chapter and the 9th verse. Yeah, and Jacob said, "O Most High of my father Abraham, O power of my father Isaac, the Lord which sentest unto me, settest unto me, return unto thy country and to thy kindred, and I will deal with thee." 10th verse, for I am not worthy of the least of all thy mercies, and all of that truth which thou hast showed unto thy servant. For with my staff I passed over this Jordan, and now become 2 bands. Right. So I'm not worthy of the least of thy mercies, you know. So I'm not gonna sit here and show you like a compilation of like the old me and then the new me. I'm not gonna sit there and do that shit like that. You know, Jake does this, you know, they be on social media, they show you like their family and they show you what they are today and all this other shit. Look, man, just know that hey, we're all fuck ups, you know. We're all fuck ups at the end of the day, you know. And the fact that we're coming to this truth, the fact that we found out about this knowledge and this wisdom, you know, is a great mercy of the Lord, man. You know, because like Jacob said, I'm not worthy of the least of thy mercies. None of us is worthy of the least of thy mercy, but the Lord said you were worthy because he woke you up to this truth. He said, I cast not your pearls before the swine, right? Matthew 7:6. He said, cast not your pearls before the swine. So he gave us this truth, meaning we're not swine, man. You know, hey, even though, you know, you may fuck up and do this. It says in Proverbs 24, man, and 16. Let's get that. It says the just man falls 7 times. 16 verse, Proverbs 24:16. It says, for a just man fall 7 times and rise up again, but the wicked shall fall into mischief. Rejoice not when thy enemy falleth, but let not thy heart be glad when he stumbleth. Right. So, hey, man, you want to see your brothers get deliverance. All right. You want to see them. You want to see them make it. But hey, look, man, the Lord's the one that decides, man. We can't decide. So a just man falls 7 times and rise up again, but the wicked shall fall into mischief. So if you are a just man in the truth and the spirit of the Lord, then you are worthy of the Lord's mercies. But see, when you read these scriptures, like Jacob was saying this, like you would say it when you over there crying and praying, and you feel fucked up because of what you did. Yeah, he's speaking in the man form, like he's a man, like he's a human. He's overcome with his mess ups. But the scriptures say to let not your sins weigh you down. All right, because you got to look around you, man. Okay, as fucked up as we are, look, we're better than the people around you. At least we're exercising, rehearsing the righteous acts. Judges 5:11. At least we know when we go off and we feel bad about it. We have remorse. We examine ourselves. That says 2 Corinthians 13:5. We examine ourselves. So look, man, you can't get too low or too high on yourself. You got to be just balanced. You can't be like, oh, I'm a piece of shit. Or you can't be like, oh, well, I'm Kanye West and I'm this and I'm that, and I can shit on the earth and nobody can say nothing to me, like Kanye does or like Esau does. I'm just using them as an example. All right. Or like the comforter that said he was the comforter. All right. Scripture says, many shall come in my name saying, I am the anointed, or many anti-messiahs. All right. That's why the scripture speak about a novice lifted up with pride. He fall into the condemnation of the devil. When you fall into the condemnation of the devil, that means you got too high or you got too low on yourself. You got the demons messing with you where you're high-minded and proud, like Nate, where he calls himself a bishop, but he's in the spirit, he's in the condemnation of the devil because he's doing AI images of himself. You know what I'm saying? Where he's putting himself up there as like the Messiah and this and that. And see, like he's the one that came up with the truth and all this other shit and putting himself on a high horse. See, that's when you get too high. Now, when you get too low, is that when you start thinking, oh, I ain't worthy of the Lord's mercy. The Lord can't, the Lord can't forgive me. What the hell? I'm a piece of shit. Blah, blah, blah. Even though we understand that we are fucked up as a people and we ain't right. But you cannot let yourself get too goddamn low or too high. You know what I mean? You got to be right there, in the middle, which the Lord told you, man, he gonna forgive you. He set us up in this condition, bro. So that's mercy. See, that's why the scripture say, blessed are you that understand, man. Only the righteous shall understand, but none of the wicked shall understand, Blessed are you that understand, man. Blessed are your ears for they hear, man. So let me read this, bro. Brother Mike put it up. Matthew 25:40. It says, and the king shall answer and say unto them, verily I say unto you, and as much as you have done it unto one of the least of these brethren, you have done it unto me. Unto the lowly. You see, you done it unto the least of my brethren, then you did it unto me. Okay, so again, we gotta consider these things. Now, 2 Corinthians 16 and 76 is 75 said, be not afraid, neither doubt, for your God, Yahweh Bashim Shai is your guide. And the guide of them who keep my commandments and precepts, said the Lord power. Let not your sins weigh you down. I don't get too low on yourself, And let not your iniquities lift up themselves, and woe unto them that are bound with their sins. They're too low. That stay down there in the dumps. Like Masigo said, down in the dumps. You get too down on yourself. You think you're not worthy of the Lord's mercies, because you're still thinking as a normal person, like in the flesh, you still have thoughts of you got to break out of that and shit. And scripture tell you, 1 Corinthians 2:16, we have received not the spirit or the mind of this world, we have received the mind of Yahushua, right? And the Lord has a forgiving mind, man. The Most High, His Son, have a mind of compassion. They have a mind of, of forgiveness. With men, it's hatred and never forgiving. Like Rick Ross, God forgives, I don't. You see? Remember that record he had put out years ago? That goddamn snake devil, Rick Ross. You see, them type of niggas, the Lord is not gonna have mercy on them because they're proud. They've made their bed in the society. They're not lowly. They don't want the Lord to rule over them. As it says in Luke 19:27. See, the Lord won't have mercy, but see you're working out your own salvation, man. Why would the Lord not have mercy on you? Because you had a couple slip ups and because you messed up. No, the Lord's looking at the heart, man. He's looking at the spirit. All right. You may have had a couple slip ups, or you may have had a run in with men or this or that, whatever the case may have been, man. All right. But at the end of the day, the Lord said all manner of sin shall be forgiven except for blasphemy of the Holy Spirit. Did you commit blasphemy of the Holy Spirit? Did you blaspheme the Holy Spirit, or did you go out there and pop a man's woman? See, this is when you're supposed to be worried, man. When you did some egregious demonic shit, But hey, man, brothers may slip up. You may be flawed, like the brothers say. Brothers are flawed, man, and the Lord knows this. That's why He knew that you was nothing but flesh and blood. So therefore, He said He gave you mercy. He sent His only begotten Son, all right, to cover for you, man. And He was touched in all points as you were, but He was perfect, found perfect according to the law. But it says in Hebrews 4:14 and the 15th verse that we have a high priest that was touched in all points such as we are in infirmities, man. And He went off when He was Adam and He was Solomon. So your king, he got down in the trenches with you. Your king went off like you did to show you the right way. Your king got deceived by the woman like you did. The king went off about some woman like you did. The king fell off just like you did. All right. So 2 Esdras 16 and 77. Woe be unto them that are bound with their sins and covered with their iniquities like a field. Damn demon playing his music right next to me and shit mad loud. It says, and covered with their iniquities like a field is covered over with bushes, and the path thereof covered with thorns that no man may travel through. It is left undressed and is cast into the fire to be consumed with. When the Lord made the statement about you coming into the wedding with a garment on, see, if you have them spirits on you, then you coming into the wedding with without a wedding garment, uncovered, undressed. See, it's left undressed and cast into the fire to be consumed with. When you got the garment of the Lord on, then you understand that's Him clothing you with mercy, compassing you about with songs of deliverance. Okay, He's clothing you with His mercy, man. Even though in your head you may be an unrighteous, even though you may be imperfect in the flesh, the Lord is looking at your spirit, though. He's looking at your charity. He's looking at all these other things. He already chose from the foundation of the world, man. So who are you to shoot yourself in the foot? That's why Scripture say, let no man take that crown. That includes yourself, because you could take your own crown from yourself. All right. As you know that you're your own worst enemy in this thing. You could become your own worst enemy in this thing. Okay. So yeah, I just wanted to touch on this, you know what I'm saying? You're going to have situations where men may call you this, they may say that, they may say, hey, well, you this, you that, and you a rich, and you that. Okay, cool. Well, you are too. All right. I'm a piece of shit. You a piece of shit too. We're all low. Ain't nobody better than the next. And hey, we're all in the same boat at the end of the day. We all seek the mercy of the Lord, man. So you can't take anything personal, and you can't get offended, all right? Because at the end of the day, you got to understand the Lord is working. The Lord's speaking through men. The Lord's working, whether it be on the right or the left, and everything proceeds from the Father. So at the end of the day, we are to seek His mercy. And we don't know who's who. We don't know what's what until the Lord reveals all things. That's why Scripture say, judge nothing before the time. So So I just wanted to touch on this subject. I was thinking about it earlier, and just wanted to say a few words. Because these words that this man said to me many moons ago, it still resonate me to this day. Okay, and there's a particular reason why. Because these things, what I'm saying, are to build you up, character building. They're character building. You know what I mean? You build character. All right, you build your faith up. When you go through shit like this, you're like, okay, well, all right, boom. If these things don't happen, then hey, you can't grow. So the Lord does these things. Okay, so 1 Corinthians 4 and verse 1, it says, let a man so account of us as the ministers of Yahushua and the stewards of the mystery of the Most High. Moreover, it is required in stewards that a man be found faithful. But with me, it is a very small thing that I should be judged of you or of man's judgment. Yet I judge not my own self. For I know nothing by myself, yet I am not hereby justified. But he that judgeth me is the Lord. Therefore, judge nothing before the time until the Lord come, who will both bring to light the hidden things of darkness and will make manifest the counsels of the hearts. And then shall every man have praise of the Most High, when the Lord have mercy on every man and give him according to what his work shall be. All right. So yeah, we're all at the Lord's mercy. And as Jacob said in Genesis 32:10, I am not worthy of the least of thy mercies. Yet, and still the Lord still gives it. Okay. Because that's the type of love he has for his people. Start with his elect. All right. And if you are of his elect, then you're going to understand these things. You're going to consider these things. That's why scripture say, what manner of persons are you to be in all holy conversation and godliness? All right. So Ecclesiastes 8:5, but whoso keepeth the commandment shall fear no evil thing, and a wise man's heart discerneth both time and judgment. You discern why a man may say certain things. You discern why a man may have particular reasons, or why they may not like you at a certain time, or why they may look at you sideways, or why you examine the scriptures, man. You look, you see if the Lord is really working with you, supping with you. You're gonna understand that. Look, man, hey, this is part of the battle. This is part of the condition. Why the world ain't receiving you? Why they call you this? Why they say this? Why they say that? Why your woman acts the way she does? Why a brother might call you a piece of shit, or whatever the case may be. You know what I'm saying? Whatever the case may be, you take it in stride and you learn and you understand that, hey, at the end of the day, hey, look, the Lord's mercy, man. Hey, man, okay, man, got a spirit on him. Okay, whatever, boom, boom. All right, you don't take anything personal. You just grow from it, and you just pray for the brother. That's why he said, hey, pray for them that despitefully use you, man. Pray for your enemies. That's why scripture say, pray for your enemies. All right, turn the other cheek. Okay, this is why these things are said up in there. So it says Ecclesiastes 5 and 8 and 5, a wise man's heart discern both time and judgment, because to every purpose there is a time and judgment. Therefore, the misery of man is great upon him. Okay. But also the Lord's mercy is great as well. As his correction is great, so is his mercy. And then I'm gonna leave with that. All right. Okay. As his mercy is great, Sirach 16 and verse 11, if there be one stiff-necked amongst the people, it is a marvel if he escape unpunished. For mercy and wrath are with him. For he is mighty to forgive and to pour out displeasure. As his mercy is great, so is his correction also. And he judge a man according to what his work shall be. All right. So with that, I'm going to leave it there. I'll say, Kafla Imla Yahweh, Hashem, Yahweh Shai, Hashem, Makakwadash, the ones to our apostles, elders. He said, take to you, brothers. All right, there. Okay, shalom to the elect. Wa ba ba ba.